glitches on stuff this past couple of days. But anyway, I'm here. Um, Today we're going to kind of go over what we went over this week in group. And just to give you some highlights. First of all, in order to make sure you catch my blogs, be sure to sign up for them. And I put a link in the description for that. And also, if you want to get in the group, I put a link in there also. So anyway, let's get started. This week, we talked about some foods you shouldn't eat and some foods you can eat. And we talked about spices and how important those are, especially if you're going on a plant-based diet. And even with going on a plant-based diet, you get so much information out there about even what vegetables not to eat if you have an autoimmune disease, especially hypothyroidism or something like that. Let's not make this hard is always my go-to. So now, first of all, just leave out the processed foods. I'm just going to say it as simple as that. The best way to do that in the grocery store is don't go down the middle aisles, go around the outside. That's the easiest way to do this. You're still going to get some, but also just look on the box. If you can't pronounce the words, probably processed. I got to where I looked on the back of the box and there was like 2 or 3 ingredients and I could read them. Good to go. And a lot of frozen ones are great because the frozen ones are usually picked when they are ripe on any kind of vegetable or a fruit. Because usually if you're getting it fresh, they've picked it before it's ripe. So I always try to get frozen whenever I can. And I always keep frozen ones in there. So anyway, so what do you want to replace it with? Okay, you want to replace it with whole foods. Whole foods, not meaning the store, but actual whole foods. Complete, complex, that's a big one. Like I told you before, even with fruits and vegetables, especially vegetables, and I'm dealing with the hypothyroidism world, you'll hear, don't eat nightshades. I didn't even know what that was. That'll be things like eggplants, any root vegetables. I love root vegetables, so that's not going to work for me. Now, there's some root vegetables that are better for me than others. And also, when you're listening to your body, you will find what works for you. Yes, we're all sensitive to things. We're all allergic to things. You'll find out real fast. It's not going to take you long to figure that out. Now, here's a great thing I learned. It was how to use spices. I did not know how to use them. I was not good at it. I thought salt and pepper, that was it. That was my culture, salt and pepper. Well, now we've got all these awesome cultures from around the world. The grocery stores usually have them. On the most part, they'll have all the different spices. As you get into it, you'll be like me, and you'll try things. Yeah, they won't be great at first. And now, what we always make fun of my house is if I get a new recipe, which is on Pinterest, of course, it's a jumping off point. I will go directly with the recipe at first to understand it, and then I'll put the things in that I like. And so they're always just a jumping off. So at the end, sometimes they're not even the same recipe, but that's okay. And also, spices made a big difference for me when I would get a sweet tooth. Now, this is going to sound funny, but it actually is true. I actually keep this on hand at all times as roasted vegetables. My favorites. Now, when I started out with that recipe, it called for a certain amount of different veggies. Now I know that if I roast my sweet potatoes and carrots and red onion, it's gotta be red onion, and I put the certain spices on it and I roast it, it will be like candy. So there, it takes care of my satisfying my sweet tooth, and I don't get the wild swings of having processed sugar. I get the taste without the wild swings. So that is awesome. So I'm just going to name off a few different spices that I keep on hand. And I'm going to, like I said in the blog, if you sign up for that, I'll have more in depth on that kind of stuff. But I always, you know me, I've got my turmeric, I've got my cumin, I've got parsley, I've got the normal ones that we're used to, onion powders, all that kind of stuff. But also that I wasn't used to before, and I've got bay leaves, or things like turmeric, ginger, is a big one to keep in my house. I don't use that one a lot because I don't really like it that much, but that's my personal preference. Everybody's got their own. Let's see, what else do I have? Okay, now I can't think. Now I have cumin. I'm literally looking in my spice cabinet, which, by the way, has grown from a few spices to now a whole cabinet full. And then I'll have things in different places too. So that's how it's changed. And also noticed I'm trying to remember the names of different ones. Also noticed that it doesn't take a lot to make things taste better. And smell and taste are so important when we're eating. And let me see if I can think again. I've got the peppers. Oh, and even with mustards, they had mustard seeds. And I definitely noticed my palate changing. So I notice when I don't have that. Rosemary, basil, cilantro. Cilantro is a little hard to grow down here, so I do culantro. And red pepper, crushed red pepper, sage, ginger, and thyme. I already said ginger, but thyme's a big one for me, and dill. I keep that one fresh, but even if I don't have fresh, it's okay. So once again, sign up for the blog. I haven't got the new one out for today. They usually go out on Thursdays. A little bit behind today. So be sure and sign up for that and you'll get the newest one. Have a great day.